Hello, I'm Simon Whistler, you're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today we're looking at the top 10 McDonald's menu items that we wish they'd bring back. Number 10. Chopped steak sandwich with onion nuggets. The original version of McDonald's chopped steak sandwich only made it into test markets in 1979. It was a long burger on a 6-inch bun topped with onions. Barbecue sauce was served on the side that the diner could pour onto the sandwich. Pretty fancy, right? Well, it was also served with a box of onion nuggets, which were battered chunks of onion that were deep fried. One reason the chopped steak sandwich probably never took off is because it used ground beef instead of chopped steak. So if they brought the sandwich back, one of two things needs to happen. The first is that it would need to have a more honest name, or it needs to have actual chopped steak. Either way, we'd give one of them a go with a side of onion nuggets. Granted, you must really love onions to enjoy this combo, or this would be an excellent menu option if you're brought to McDonald's on a bad date. And seriously, what date at McDonald's isn't bad? Number 9. Fries in beef tallow. For decades, McDonald's cooked their fries in a mixture of 7% cottonseed oil and 93% beef tallow. This gave the fries a unique and utterly delicious taste. Were they healthier? Of course not. In fact, there was more saturated fat in the fries per ounce than in the burgers. But this isn't about healthier, otherwise you'd find the McLean, a burger sold in the 1990s, on this list. It was 91% fat-free and only had 10 grams of fat, compared to a Big Mac, which has 26 grams of fat. The secret was that it used seaweed as a binder. Gee, we can't fathom why that one never caught on. McDonald's changed to vegetable oil in the early 1990s because customers wanted healthier food. Also, since they were cooked in tallow, vegans and vegetarians couldn't eat the fries. But this didn't completely remove animal byproducts in the oil. This led to a lawsuit in 2001 filed by 3 vegans, 2 of which were Hindu, because they found traces of beef in the fries. McDonald's response was that they never said their fries were vegetarian, and they revealed that they used beef flavoring. When they made this announcement, McDonald's restaurants in India were attacked by protesters. However, McDonald's said that beef products were never used in the cooking of fries in India. McDonald's ended up paying out $10 million and apologized for not being more open about their products. Number 8. Fried pies. McDonald's pies, which are technically turnovers, were first introduced in 1968, the same year that the Big Mac debuted. The first flavor was apple, and cherry was added later. Apple pies are still on the menu today, but they are baked. However, when they first came out, they were deep fried. This made the outside crust crispy and the inside gooey. To summarize it all in one word, they were pretty magical. However, they were discontinued in 1992, and you can probably guess why, and I'll give you a clue: it wasn't because they were too awesome or didn't sell well. Number 7. McLobster. McDonald's locations throughout the world have specialized menu options that are only available in certain countries. One sandwich in Canada, which has been an on-again, off-again menu option on the East Coast and appears for a short time every year in Ontario, is the McLobster. This pops up now and then in New England, where most folks consider it a slap in the face, considering, you know, Maine. Anyway, it's a lobster roll which contains chunks of lobster mixed with mayonnaise, lime juice, celery, onion, and is served on a 6-inch bun with lettuce. Of course, the idea of McDonald's, which sells double cheeseburgers for $1, selling a sandwich with a high-end product like lobster, can make anyone nervous. But it's actually pretty good. Well, when we say good, that's pretty relative. A reviewer with the National Post in Canada said that a McLobster is to a lobster roll what a McDonald's cheeseburger is to a real cheeseburger. But if you're a fan of lobster rolls and McDonald's, well, that's actually quite a compliment. Number 6. Superhero burger. This burger has had a few different iterations and appeared several times over the past 2 decades under different names, like the Triple Double Burger. In Canada, it has appeared as the Hockey Hero Burger because, well, of course it was. But it was first introduced in 1995 as a tie-in to the movie Batman Forever, and it was called the Superhero Burger. The sandwich is 3 beef patties with 2 slices of cheese and was served on a 6-inch bun. Then the burger was topped with lettuce, tomato, onions, and mayonnaise. It was a bit like a Whopper sub, but made with McDonald's ingredients. Number 5. The Arch Deluxe. Throughout the history of McDonald's, they've tried to expand their customer base, and it doesn't always go as well as planned. One of their biggest failures was in 1996. With their low-quality food, Happy Meals, a clown for a mascot, and play places, McDonald's is a magnet for children, but not enough adults were eating there. McDonald's wanted to go after these adults in a consumer-based way, not in a threatening sort of way. A good way to attract adults may have just been to add alcohol to the menu or to remove all the kids' stuff in the restaurants. Instead, they thought that adults would like a series of sandwiches directed at them and made no other changes to the atmosphere of the restaurants. New menu items included the Fish Fillet Deluxe, the Grilled Chicken Deluxe, and the Crispy Chicken Deluxe. But the main burger, which was symbolic of their new menu direction, was the Arch Deluxe. It was a quarter-pound patty topped with bacon, leaf lettuce, tomato, American cheese, onions, ketchup, and a secret sauce that was made from mustard and mayonnaise. In total, McDonald's spent over $150 million on an ad campaign for the line of burgers, and, well, it was a disaster. The problem with the deluxe sandwiches was that McDonald's had such lofty goals. While the Arch Deluxe tasted pretty good, it didn't bring in the customers they wanted. However, perhaps if it was brought back with much lower expectations, the Arch Deluxe could find a home on the menu. Number 4. Chicken Selects. Chicken nuggets, which were originally called Chicken Crispies, were developed in 1963 by a food scientist who had a lab in Cornell's basement. In 1977, the United States government announced dietary goals for Americans that included instructions to eat less beef, but more chicken and fish. McDonald's, who experimented with onion nuggets but found they didn't sell well, decided to try chicken nuggets to attract people who wanted to eat chicken. They debuted in 1983 and have been on the menu ever since. Obviously, they are popular, but for some people who love chicken, McNuggets taste like battered and deep-fried newspaper. For those people, there were Chicken Selects, introduced in 2002. Instead of being ground-up chicken, or whatever weird pink paste is used to create McNuggets, these were pieces of premium white chicken that were battered and deep-fried. The Chicken Select survived for more than a decade before it was phased out in 2013. McDonald's didn't give a reason for discontinuing the product, citing that they didn't share sales figures of specific items, so that probably means that they didn't sell particularly well. Number 3. Mega Tomago. We're not sure if this burger is still available in Japan. It's no longer listed on their website, but, well, if it isn't, it needs to come back and go worldwide. We want it, we need it, we must have it. It's like a Mega Big Mac, but instead of a fourth patty, it has a fried egg. What sorcery will they think of next? And in addition to that, there's also bacon, and well, what doesn't get better with bacon? Now, this wouldn't be too hard to make because all-day breakfast is already a reality. Now, there are eggs available all throughout the day, so come on, McDonald's, we're waiting. Number 2. Eggs Benedict McMuffin. McDonald's breakfast is some of the most beloved of all their food. When McDonald's made breakfast available all day, their stock went up 3%. Their first breakfast item was their most famous, the Egg McMuffin, which was invented by Herb Peterson, who owned a McDonald's in Santa Barbara, California. He thought that Ray Kroc would dismiss the idea right away, so Peterson told Kroc to come to his store, but refused to explain why he wanted to see Kroc. After trying the sandwich, Kroc loved it and agreed to put it on the menu. It took 3 years to get them into all stores nationwide, but since then, it's been a staple. In 2001, as a marketing crossover with the movie Atlantis: The Lost Empire, for reasons that, well, let's not dwell on the reasons, okay, McDonald's introduced the Eggs Benedict McMuffin. While the promotion may not have made sense, the breakfast sandwich does sound delicious. In fact, an Egg McMuffin is quite similar to Eggs Benedict because the Egg McMuffin was a rip-off of an Eggs Benedict sandwich that was made by Jack in the Box. But Peterson didn't like how runny the prepackaged hollandaise sauce was, so he dropped it. However, if the hollandaise was done correctly, breakfast may get more popular than it already is. Number 1. Pizza. While there's a franchise called Burger King, the real undisputed king of burger restaurants is McDonald's. In the 1980s, they owned 40% of the burger market. However, McDonald's was mostly considered a breakfast and lunch place. During dinners, families like to take a bit more time and relax. One type of restaurant that was popular for dinner was pizza parlors, such as Pizza Hut. The solution to this problem was obvious. McDonald's would sell pizza. The problem was that pizza didn't really work in the McDonald's kitchen. Also, the pizza needed to be prepared quickly. No one was going to come to McDonald's and order burgers that were served in minutes, but wait 20 minutes for pizza. So they had to design their own ovens with superheated air, and it cooked frozen dough in 6 minutes. However, the pizzas came with other problems, like, for example, the boxes didn't fit through the drive-thru windows. Also, renovations had to be done in the kitchens to not only add the oven, but also a warmer box. If you've ever been to a McDonald's and have seen their kitchens, you know that real estate is at a premium. Finally, while they cooked pizza quickly, it still wasn't fast enough, which hurt McDonald's main competitive advantage, speed. Shortly after the pizzas went into expanded testing in 1989, they were discontinued. Well, with a couple of peculiar exceptions. 2 McDonald's locations, one in Ohio and one in West Virginia, still sell pizzas. We think that other McDonald's sites should learn from these 2 restaurants and start to sell them again. Perhaps this time, though, they might want to think about selling it by the slice. So I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, over there on the right are a couple of other videos that you might enjoy if you enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.